because I got 25 staff members, half of them are teachers and researchers. I said, you telling me that NH, who drove 80 to 90 miles an hour, 80 to 90 miles per hour on Preston Avenue, and the name Preston is the middle name of the son of her great uncle, Harold Heche, and ran to a house at 1766 Wargrove Avenue, which is the maiden name of the wife of the great uncle of Anne Heche, Harold, who married Catherine Paxton Wargrove. Now, people are going to say, oh, it's by accident. No, the Rothschilds, the deep state, knew her bloodline. Preston Avenue, the name of the son of her great uncle, Harold Heche, who married a woman 30 years younger than him, Catherine Paxton Wargrove, who became Catherine Paxton Wargrove Heche, and they have a son by the name of Harold Preston Heche. So Anne Heche, you can't make this up. 90 miles an hour, Vault 7 on Preston Avenue, but ran into a home at 1776 Wargrove. This is not by you dealing with demons. And in order to dissect the assassination of Anne Heche, you got to go back in the bloodlines. It's no coincidence. Now, I'm going to give you some time to pick up Pastor, I don't know, Pastor Linda's there. Listen, Pastor Stanfield and Pastor Sam, pick up your jaws. You see, they knew where the Vault 7 her. Everything is by demonic memorial planning. Names, dates, street names, family bloodline names. Oh, let me wipe some of the anointing off. Listen. How many of you are learning something that you never knew before? Raise up your hand. Listen. The assassination of Anne Heche. Now, this young woman, Anne Heche. There's a 1946 movie that was called The Girl in Room 20. Directed by Spencer Williams. There's a movie that came out in 1960 called The Girl in Room 13, directed by Richard E. Cunha, C-U-N-H-A, that starred Brian Donlevy, Andrea Bayard, and Elizabeth Howard. Girl in Room 13, 1960. In 1974, there came out another movie called The Girl in Room 2A. The Girl in Room 2A came out in 1974, directed and written by William Rose and Robert Randall, all about child trafficking and sexual abuse. In 2020, going back to December 2021, Hollywood actress who's also a director, a woman by the name of Elizabeth Rohm, R-O-H-M. Now, to you Law and Order fans, Elizabeth Rohm played a character from 2001 to 2005 called Ada Serena Sutherland. That was played by Elizabeth Rom, who directed and wrote The Girl in Room 13 that's coming out next month. Elizabeth Rom is also the same woman who directed a 2021 movie called Girl in the Basement. Girl in the Basement. This is the same woman, Elizabeth Rom, who directed another 2021 movie called To Catch a Seed. To Catch a Seed, which was originally called Switched Before Birth. And now Girl in Room 13, Lifetime Channel. And I would be shocked if it comes out. The Girl in Room 13 is about the life of Anne Heche, where she is going to expose the child trafficking network in Hollywood. Now, are you ready? Listen, let me blow your minds here. Underneath the homes in Beverly Hills and Hollywood, the former homes of Louis B. Mayer, Harry Cohn, Samuel Goodman, Jack Warner, Adolph Zucker, Carl Lammel, William Fox, Joseph Chenek, and Jesse L. Lansky, they all have an underground tunnel under each home that they use for parties to bring young teenage girls and children. I'm not talking about Jewish, I'm talking about one family, Rothschilds, through the bloodlines of Mayer, Cohn, Goodman, Warner Brothers, Zucker, Lemire, Fox, and Joseph Chenek, including Darryl F. Zanuck. August, the 8th month, plus the 5th day, was the date of Anne Heche's accident. 8 plus 5, 13. The Girl in Room 13. Then supposedly 8 days later, she dies during the 8th month, August the 12th, 8 plus 12, 20. But the address that she ran into was 1776. 1 plus 7 plus 7 plus 6, 20. August 5th, 13, the 8th month plus the 5th day, 13, plus August the 12th, 8th month plus 12, 20, 13 plus 20 equals 33 degrees of the Masonic order. And the address was 1766 Wargrove Avenue. 1 plus 7 plus 6 plus 6, 20. Nothing is by accident. God is changing and shifting your global spiritual consciousness. In my conclusion, when you look on a website called Redfin, Redfin, and you type in the address of 1766 Wargrove, Walgrove Avenue, the house that Anne Heche drove into, it has the names of the previous owners of the property. Some key names came out to me. The Balter Family Living Trust, Balter, a financial family out of Los Angeles, connected to the Rothschild banking cartel out of London, England. The Balter Family Living Trust. A man by the name of Brian Glazer used to own that home. 1766 Walgrove Avenue, LA County Records. The Irene Bootkian Trust, Booakian, that's connected to Saudi Arabian restaurants throughout the District of Columbia, who specialize in the menus of spirit cooking where they have. See, this is hard for people to understand. And I'm not blaming this person, Irene Bootkian, and her bloodline, but the Bootkian bloodline owns restaurants throughout the United States, especially in Washington, D.C. It was Robert Davis Steele, the late Robert Davis Steele, who I interviewed on my radio show 3 years ago, and said the Bootkian family owns a major restaurant in the Georgetown, Washington, D.C. area that serve Bishop baby soup, a broth mixed with the meat of dead aborted children. But the name, the Irene Bootkian Trust, is on the deed of the house. That I know this is hard for you to wrap your brain around, but it's receipts on the Redfin website connected to the LA Public Trust records in LA that shows the previous owners of this property. A woman by the name of Jessica A. Gandolfi, Gandolfi. I couldn't help but to think of the late actor James Gandolfini, who died of a heart attack in Rome, Italy, June 19, 2013. Brian Glazer. These are the names of the people who previously owned the property at 1766 Wargrove Avenue, where Anne Heche drove her Mini Coupe into the house. And I got to tell you, Pastor David, I went to dinner yesterday. Okay, I'm not going to say when and where, but when I parked my car, right beside my car was a Mini Coupe, the same type that Anne Heche drove. Listen, now you got two women who are owners supposedly of the house. Are you ready? Now, if you want me to stop, I gotta stop saying that. I can hear Pastor. I can hear Pastor Sands' voice. Keep teaching. I'm going to blow my nose. Not that you don't like it, but listen, I love you, but I'm going to do it anyway. Listen. I'm sorry. Listen. How many of you are your minds blown tonight? Have you ever heard of this teaching before? This is research with receipts. You see, conception to birth to now, for the past 2 hours, 57 minutes, and 47 seconds of the assassination of Anne Heche. Oh boy. The movie Girl in Room 13, according to my research, in the agents and the publicists I know here in Los Angeles, not my agent and publicist, my agent and publicist is in New York City, but agents and publicists here, a few that are Christ-minded. Pastor Dave, I was told that the movie, the Lifetime movie, upcoming next month, Girl in Room 13, directed and written by Elizabeth Rahm, was financially backed by the Bank of America. Let me say this again. The big time multi-million dollar movies are not backed by the Bank of America and many of and continental banks of your banks here in the Los Angeles area. Most of these big time multi-million dollar movies are banked by the studios, Columbia, DreamWorks, and Paramount. But the smaller A, B, or B movies, like Lifetime and Hallmark, are banked by banks like Bank of America and Continental Bank and Union Bank. So according to my contacts, not just in two of them in the federal government, but my contacts here in Los Angeles with just a few agents and publicists, I had received information today that it almost made me sick. That the movie upcoming, Girl in Room 13, coming out in next month on Lifetime, was financially backed by the Bank of America. On June 12th, 1994, Bank of America was purchased by the Yakuza Mafia out of Japan. Let's go through this slow, okay? So, Girl in Room 13, a B movie, but very important, exposes child trafficking and pedophilia, coming out hopefully next month in Lifetime. Written and directed by Elizabeth Rahm, formerly of Law and Order. She got the financial backing from Bank of America because none of the studios wanted it because it would expose pedophilia and the underground pedophilia network beginning in Beverly Hills. June 12, 1994, the Yakuza family, the Yakuza Mafia out of Japan, you can't make this up, bought the controlling interest of Bank of America. The Yakuza Mafia not only owns Bank of America that subsidized Anne Heche's movie, The Girl in Room 13, but according to the book called Yakuza by Dubrow, D-U-B-R-O, and Kaplan, the Yakuza out of Osaka, Japan, purchased the Bank of America on June 12th, 1994, under the name of the corporation called Boryo Kudan, capital B-O-R-Y-O-K-U-D-A-N. The Boryo Kudan is the corporate name for the Yakuza Mafia. In the term Borokuden, it means death by necktie. I'm getting to OJ. I want you to go listen. This is mind-blowing. We're not fighting against flesh and blood. So the Yakuza Mafia, under the corporate name of the Borokuden, capital B-O-R-Y-O-K-U-D-A-N, replaced the term Yakuza in order to do corporate business in the United States during the mid-90s. June 12, 1994, the Borokuden Corporation, the official name under the name of Yakuza, purchased the Bank of America on June 12, 1994, which was the same date where the LAPD got a call from the neighbors in a neighborhood in Brentwood, California, where a dog was barking, and the owner of the dog was led by the dog to see the horrific deaths of two people, Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman. The same day that the Yakuza Mafia, called the Barracuda Corporation, bought Bank of America, the same day, the LAPD found the neck of this young woman slit with the Adam's apple outside of it dangling. Let me say something. Let me tell you something. I'll tell you who got rid of OJ's wife. It wasn't OJ. Okay? The racist LAPD. Now, I'm not saying the entire LAPD was racist, but about 30 to 40% was racist. Who took out Nicole Brown Simpson? It was the Yakuza, because Nicole Brown Simpson owed hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of heroin to the Yakuza Mafia out of Los Angeles, which OJ said, I'm not going to pay for your drugs anymore. That's when they took her out. It wasn't the Colombians with your Colombian necktie